I'm sitting right here, living next door to Alice.
And she's back on popular demand. Alice, how you doing? Sorry about my vocal skills. I mean, I hope I didn't slaughter that song, but how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me back on, and hoping Man United complete the Amrabat signing, because I think that will be really positive for
Oh,
us.
we diving right into the juicy bits. Of course, now you're warmed up because you just finished off a live stream, which I was watching. Yeah, listen, should we just dive right into the Amrabat? Let's do it.
Yeah,
What do you reckon?
I
Done
think it will
deal?
be. I think it will be done. I mean, when Romano said he said yes to Manchester United, the player wants to move. And when because I was a bit skeptical about Italian media, what they're like. But when Romano goes, yeah, we stop with United's list. United will move for a midfielder after Højlund. United have had talks. The players said 100% yes to Man United. It's just a matter of selling players. I think once Fred or Donny officially get out the door, I think that Amrabat deal will be done pretty quick, because you've got to think £25 million. United can pay that. The player wants to come. It's just sell one of the midfielders first.
I don't want to do this, but we don't shy away. There's another hand grenade to be blown as well, and that's number 11, the G. Yeah. Apparently, that's going to be also decided in a very, very imminent future. What I've been hearing. What have you been hearing?
I mean, yeah, because Romano said it could be next hours or days. Someone else put out it will be Thursday or Friday, but people thinking, are they delaying Højlund to announce this, and then Højlund could be the kind of distraction. The United Musketeers, who do have decent sources somewhere, transfers and stuff, they do put things out and they're quite accurate. They're saying that they're hearing things that he's going to return. But what we were hearing a couple of weeks ago is that it was going to go out on loan from, I think, like Luckhurst and that lot. So I think the fact that United have waited so long, and he did get loan offers from Italy and they didn't act on them, makes me think, have they thought about him staying more because they didn't sign Harry Kane? They might look at it and go, this is an attacker here. Looking, the longer and longer they wait, the fact that he's had a kid, PR, all of that, it's gone from he's going to go out on loan. It seemed like he was going to go out on loan, which I think is the most logical solution, to send him out on loan. But it's looking more likely that he's going to stay the longer and longer they wait. And I know Adidas denied it in the end, but apparently if the sponsors approve it, United will bring him back, because at the end of the day, it's not a moral decision for United. It's not about what the fans think. It's about money. If the sponsors aren't going to harm United for bringing him back, United will bring him back. They don't care what we think. They don't care what the players think. If they can bring him back and the sponsors aren't going to cost them, and if it's true, the Adidas story, he might be back. But I've always said I'd loan him. For me, it makes the most sense.
I don't really. I mean, Green will be back according to Alien Tenor. Probably it's what it is. You know what? They're saying that we should be on Sky Sports and start a channel like on BT Sports. 100%. We will. But at the end of the day, we need to talk about it. It's been kind of a little bit of a taboo not to speak about it. But seriously, I always say that if you're a Manchester United supporter, you support the club, you support the team, right? So if that player all of a sudden comes back, and the scrutiny that he will be getting, and you saying that I will not support the club anymore, then you should look yourself in the mirror and just assess yourself, and is this really the right club you're supporting? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what you're saying, Alice, is absolutely 100% true. He's contractually speaking a Manchester United player. I would say that it's too much of problems to solve in once. You're having the takeover, you have the transfer market, you have the Mason Greenwood situation. Everything has a process, what I would say, right? I think that now he got his key target striker, his midfielders, he's going to get Amrabat in. Now it's going to probably open up to say, listen, here's my plan, right? That's what I think. And for me, I care about the team. I care about us winning games, right? I'm a consumer of the game, to be honest. I have no opinions about what people are doing outside the pitch, So who am I to cast the first stone and judge? But Martial is apparently going to stay. We recruited this voodoo doctor from Arsenal, this specialist. I don't know. Will Martial play second fiddle? And then you add on a Greenwood. Then you have three potent strikers. Of course, Mason he hasn't kicked the ball for 12 months, right?
It's nearly 2 years because he was
2
quite
years.
inconsistent the last few months under Ollie Rangnick as well. Like the thing with Mason Greenwood, and the reason I wouldn't bring him back is obviously one, everyone saw and heard what was leaked. It was very charges dropped or not. It was very graphic, and a lot of people had made their mind up on that. And there's sort of two reasons why, not just about how fans feel, but there were reports that players had mixed feelings about his return. Eric Ten Hag's done so well to restore the harmony in the dressing room. A lot of players I'm following on social media that are leaks that certain players don't want him back. You know how certain fans are really against him coming back and certain fans want him back? Is it going to cause a dressing room problem bringing him back between the players? And then the other reason I'm skeptical about bringing him back is if you bring him back and he's rubbish, because at the end of the day, when was the last time a player who was out for nearly 2 years, plus the whole mental stuff that's going to affect him, playing with the crowds booing at him, what's saying he comes back?
That will pass. I think that will pass. Look what Lee Park is saying. He's a massive asset. Just toss away a week in attack also. And that's the thing. Like, if you sell him or if you, put him away and he does brilliantly, like, in Italy or another league, and everyone will say, why did we let him go? Right. You got to look at the facts, right? You got to I know it's so easy to be judgmental, right? And we don't really know. I mean, all I can go is by the verdict and stuff like that. And, you take it from there, like a fact. We don't know how the pictures was manufactured or, you know what I mean? It's easily done today, right?
We haven't got an explanation for it.
Nothing. And we don't know if
it was more the audio, I think.
The audio, you don't know if that's been hacked or, chopped up and made it's so many question marks that so what instantly that can be manipulated, but what you hear sounds way amplified, so we can understand why you're feeling that way. I certainly was also appalled to see this. Under no shape or form am I hate violence, I hate domestic violence and stuff like that, but everyone that's been in a relationship, you can't tell me that you've been in a rosy relationship. Everyone has arguments, right? That's part of the human.
I think the level of the audio was quite concerning. Why was it being recorded if that was a one-off incident? Like, why would she start recording their fights? I think there's something about it's a big red flag, because at the end of the day, if the audio is fake, he's got back with someone that's false accused him, or if the audio is real, she's got back with someone that's done that to him. And I think the whole situation is a bit, you just look at it and you're like, at the end of the day, as long as they're happy and the kid's happy, that's the most important thing now. But I think United just should send him out on loan just to see how he plays, to see how fans respond to him coming back. And also these kind of things, once if we bring him back and then all of a sudden we get more leaks coming out saying he's done this, and that, and then there's a whole situation again, and then everyone will be like, why did you bring him back? There's so many ways that it can be looked at, that I think alone gives you a year to really assess how he plays, how people respond, what the situation's like with him, Harriet, and the kid. I think for me, I've always thought it's the smartest option. Is also as well with the dressing room. We know that there is leaks that players have mixed feelings. Do you want to disrupt or upset certain players who might feel uncomfortable about it? It's such a hard one. So really,
the problem is, which we're going to lead into the next section, is that I have a problem with media. Like, I don't trust media, especially the British media, constantly telling lies to people. Like, so how, I don't know. I'm just having a problem because at the end of the day, everyone wants to sell stories and clicks and stuff like that and amplify the situation. And then it's dividing the fan base. Like, it's called divide and conquer. So I have a little bit of a problem with that. So I'm an advocate for the truth. Like, always have to look at one side of the story, look at the other, put myself in that situation and present what's in the middle. Like, and how you as a reader or a viewer, how you interpret it, I leave it up to you. Use your common sense, logic, and reasoning. I mean, in the back of the Dele Alli story, when he came out and spoke about his past, that gave you a little bit of an insight behind the scenes of a footballer, right?
Yeah.
And also, what I want to mention is there's been the phenomena regarding the, when you're with a celebrity football player or something, you've seen that, like, people trying to get cloud, fame, TikTokers, stuff like that, to extort. So it's normal, like, And I don't know, the defamation case, Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp, turned out to be
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's a difficult one because a small percentage of those cases are just people lying, which means if it's a real case, we have to be skeptical whether to believe it or not, because unfortunately there are people out there that lie and stuff. I think if she had lied, he wouldn't have gone back with her though and had a kid with her. Like, that's the way I look at it. But I think, look, the most important thing is they are back together. If they're happy, if it doesn't happen again, if the child's happy, none of it happens again. And we don't know all the facts, we don't know the context, we don't know what's gone down, and to be honest, I don't really want to know. I'm just fed up with this. Will he come back, will he not come back? United need to just actually grow some balls and tell us if he's coming back or not.
100%. That's what we need. But I'm like everyone else, and all mainstream media tell lies. I'm absolutely tired of lies, and that's the reason why I run this channel, Alice, like calling the voice of reasoning, providing a motion sickness pill, like, you know. And so far, before we close the shop, Alice, so far regarding the recruits, you reckon it's a good transfer window?
I think so, considering it's a difficult one with the takeover looming. But if we get Amrabat in, it's a good transfer window if we do get some of the deadwood out. I think McTominay, Fred, Donny needs to go, Dean Henderson needs to go, Alanga gone. I think the outs have been the disappointment more than the ins, actually.
100%. Yeah. So to summarize everything, Alice has to go. She's been doing her show on her own, like, and we've been doing 1 hour show here. So I really appreciate it. It was always good to have you on for the second time. I really hope you enjoyed it. It was a good discussion, Alice, at the end of the day. So, you know, you should invite me next door for your coffee next time. But you do your solo thing. Anyway, looking forward to have you back again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was good to be on the show. And of course, it graces out.
Guys, have a good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in, and peace, love, and onana. Usually we say peace, love, and banana. Thank you, Alice, for coming on. See you next time. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.